You're welcome on board. You're welcome on board. You're welcome on board. Sorry, we just have to wait for others to join up. You're welcome. You're highly welcome on board. I'm sure I did on join on exit. You're welcome on board. Sister, we'll wait for others to join up. Some of them are joining in and they are exiting again, so probably waiting for the time to come up again.
All right.
Just hang on. Welcome on board, Mr. Shei.
Thank you so much, Mr. Temitope.
Thank you very much. It's nice to have you on board.
Yes, likewise, nice to see you.
Yeah, same here. Please just hold on. We are waiting for others to join up. They are coming in already. Welcome on board, Mr. Rutimi, all the way from Nigeria.
Thank you very much, sir. Good evening. It's great to be here.
Good evening, sir. So please let's just hold on a bit for others to join up. We should be starting like 7:05 fully, just 5 minutes of wait, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. So you can just put off your mic for now until we start. Welcome on board, Mr. Dinga.
Thank you.
It's nice having you online. We are waiting for others to join up, so please just bear with us. Okay. Thanks. Welcome on board. So as you are coming in, please just mute your mic. We'll be starting soon. So we are just waiting for others to join up. Welcome on board. Welcome on board, Mr. Toib. We are waiting for others to join up. Please bear with us.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother. Well done.
Yes,
You're
sir.
welcome on board.
Yeah.
Welcome on board, Mr. Okafor. Please bear with us. We are waiting for others. Okay. At the moment, we are up to 20. We might kick off so that we don't waste any much of our time. At least by then, it should be 7:05. Welcome on board. Please, we are just waiting for others to join up. Before we start, we have a speaker online with us already. So we have every arsenal in our firepower to get started, but we're just trying to hold up a bit for others to join us. Thank you. Welcome on board, Mr. Yoruba. Please just hold on. We are just trying to wait a little bit before we start.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome on board, Sister Toyin, Faith. You're welcome on board. Mr. Onsu, you're welcome on board. Please, we're just waiting for others to join up. We welcome you on board. Please just bear with us. Mr. Wright, you're welcome on board. We are waiting for others to join up. Okay, I think we said 7:05 and this is 7:06 already. Even though we are 14 in number, it doesn't really matter. So I think we can actually start now while others will join up as we move on later. I want to welcome everyone to this wonderful meeting. For the Yoruba speaking among us, Heka Leo, you are most welcome to this community info session. For everyone, not just for new immigrants in Finland, but for everyone that cares to understand how they can actually work around their taxes, not just here in Finland or for even around Europe. I'm sure they all base their taxation on the same way, but I'm sure the speaker will definitely shed more light on everything that relates to tax. I remain Ajayi Temitope by name, and I'll be your host today. We designed this program to help us, every one of us here in Finland, the immigrants, the new arrivals, the new students, to better understand tax, finance, and for better integration into Finland and majorly European countries or any other international countries at that. So just like we usually say in Yoruba adage that Eniola show me, people are truly covering, and tonight we are here to cover and support and empower one another. That's the essence of coming together this night. But before we dive in, I want us to do something quick because I know we are connecting from different parts of the world. We are connecting from different parts of the world. Even while in Helsinki, in Finland, we have other people connecting from different cities in Finland. And I'm sure we have some other people from outside of Finland connecting with us. So in the chat box, I would just want us to type where we are connecting from. Just type in the chat box, please. You can just drop where we are connecting from in the chat box. So that we get to know. I said thank you, Espoo, Mr. Sheyi, all the way from Espoo, Mr. from Espoo. Thank you. Thank you. We can see that. So please, let's draw from Turku. Thank you. We still have only Finland. And I think I'm free to drop mine too. So thank you. Tampere, Mr. Oladapo from Tampere. Thank you for joining us. From Helsinki, Sister Oluwatoyin Faith. You're welcome on board. Please, let's try and drop in where we are joining from. Please. Okay, Helsinki, Mr. Utman, Kayani, Mr. Okafor Victor, you're welcome online. We welcome you. Please, as you join, just go into the chat box and tell us where you are joining from. Mr. Bernard from Kotka, you're welcome. We welcome you. You're welcome. Mr. Dayo, please, as you join, just tell us where you are joining from. Is it from Vanta? Is it from Kayani? Is it from Nokia? Just drop it in the chat box where you are joining from. Please just type in the chat box. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Shei from Espoo, Mr. Dayo from Helsinki. All right. So while we wait for others, we really want to welcome you again to to this wonderful session, and we believe that it's going to be a wonderful session for each and every one of us. Let's just try as much as we can to be part of this session till the end. I'm sure we have a lot to learn. If not for us in particular, it might be for maybe someone that we know in the future that will really need the information. So I would basically want to, get our attentive ears. Let's try as much as we can to be part of this. I'm sure we are all here to connect and also get some vital information. Well, now it is my pleasure to welcome our speaker, Mrs. Busayo Apanishile, and I'm sure she's well loaded for us tonight, and she's ready to give us all that is necessary. And I believe we are all ready to ask questions when it is necessary. She's going to take us through the essentials of understanding tax and the financial basis in Finland. And she's sharing her screen already. And I want to allow her to take the floor. Thank you. Please, let's just drop our clap emoji or whatever emoji we can use to welcome her. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. You're welcome to this section. Thank you for taking out time to join this section. I am here to break down some key financial systems in Finland to practical and actionable steps. Our goal tonight is to move from feeling confused to feeling confident about managing your finances here in Finland. And we would cover taxes, budgeting, Kela benefit, and a quick overview for entrepreneurs. So brief introduction. My name is Busayo Apanishile. I am the accountant and the advisor at Finovate Reps Consult. So Finovate Reps Consult is an accounting service company here in Finland. We offer bookkeeping, accounting, invoicing services to small and medium-sized businesses. We also give tax advices, and then we have like a friendly business solution for entrepreneurs. We are passionate about helping entrepreneurs and startups. And then we have over 16 years of experience in accounting and tax management and execution. Yeah, so the agenda for tonight, here's the roadmap for this section. We will start with the most immediate topic for employees, that's taxes. Then we'll talk about how to manage money from what you take home through budgeting. After that, we'll look into the social security support system from Kela. Finally, we'll go through like the differences if you are interested or you plan to become an entrepreneur in Finland. And then, yes, I will advise you to, if you have any question, please drop your question in the chat button. Either at maybe intervals, we can be looking at these questions, and I think Mr. Temitope could maybe read out the questions, or we just wait till the end of the presentation and then we look at the question and then answer them.
Yes, please. At the end of the session, we can now, look at this question and answer together. Thank you.
All right. So to start with, comprehending Finnish tax system. Let's start with the most important document, which is your tax card. You think of your tax card as like the key to receiving your salary correctly. Your tax card contains an estimated amount of your annual income, and it instructs your employer to pay you, to take the correct percentage of tax from your salary. That's what they withhold. The most critical mistake most new residents make is not securing their tax card before their first payday. And without a tax card, the employer is legally required to take like a rate of about 60% from your salary. The good thing is, at the end of the year, you can always get a tax return if you have been, if excess tax has been taken from your salary. So it's not that all bad, but then it's better to have a tax card so that your salary can be, calculated correctly, or the correct taxes can be taken from your salary from the very beginning. And you can always get your tax card like through your online interface, through your My Tax, or in Finnish, OmaVero, and or you can give like a call to the tax administration office to help you with this. We can also support and assist you with getting your tax card at Finovate. So we are just a chat away to do this for you. And then the next thing for employees as well is your annual return. So at the end of the year, the Finnish tax administration, they pre-fill your tax return based on the data they have collected about you from your employee, your family, your family composition, like the number of kids you have, your spouse, but then your job is to actually log into your OmaVero and verify the information that is there. And in some cases, you are eligible to some deductions that they wouldn't have known if you do not provide that information. And the common deductions are like travel expenses. There's usually like a default threshold of about 750 that is automatically calculated annually for everyone. But there are cases where some individuals travel further, like from their home to their work place, and spend much more. Either you by maybe you're driving and to work, or you move to a different city, while in a annual year, and then you spend much more than this threshold. So you need to like provide that information in order to get deductions from that. And also their work related expenses, like the tool you use, if you have to like get some kind of special uniform, and or if you spend money on books or some kind of trainings to enhance like your income, to enhance like your work and make more income, you can get deductions for those kind of expenses. And your workspace, if you are meant to work fully remotely, so some percentage of your rent, for a particular room in your home, can be factored into you. There will be like a prorated calculation and you get deduction on that amount. So also another thing is membership fees for trade union is tax deductible, and most people do not, somehow they don't know about this, or they kind of like skip the membership part when they're working. They just keep working and they're not part of any trade union. So we encourage to like join a trade union. There are benefits to trade union, which is like if you maybe get to like lose that job or your contract has ended before you get another work, of course, Kela is there to like support you with the unemployment benefit. But if you're a part of a trade union, you would likely get 70% of your last salary, at least for some time period, while you get another job. So it's advisable to be part of a trade union. And the good thing is that this money you paid joining a trade union is a deductible part of like your taxes, which you can always correct during the spring. Also, donations to registered charity, like some people give to the Red Cross, those notable charities, but you will need to like check the system for the charitable organizations that are eligible and you have done donations to. In some countries or some European countries, even your tithe and offering you do in church or religious places, as far as they are registered as like a recognized charity organization, you get like a deduction for that should I call it, for that spending. I don't want to call it expenses. So yeah, and then this correction is meant to be done around spring. That's between March and May, as the case may be. Everybody's deadline is kind of like different. There's usually like a general deadline date. And but then also the good thing is, if for instance we are in 2025 but 2024 you did not you didn't do this correction, and you didn't do it the year before because you didn't know about it, but you have like corrections to make, you can always do it, I think, back like 3 years back. So right now in 2025 you could go do this correction for 2024, 2023 and 2022. So it's also something for you to be aware of. Yes, so we're moving forward to another part, which is basically building like a strong financial foundation for yourself through budgeting. So let's talk about what you do with the money that actually lands in your bank account. From that's your salary, your net salary. A very effective and simple method for creating financial stability is this 70 10 10 10 rule. It's just a guiding framework, not a rigid law, but it's an excellent goal to aim for, to ensure that your money is working for you. The rule helps you allocate your net income, your pay after tax, into 4 clear categories. So you have like your living expenses, future investment, personal growth, giving back. It's a powerful way to balance your present needs with your future security. So we would take like a rough example with a net salary of like 1,500. So imagine someone that gets a net salary of 1,500. 70% of this money is will be 1,050 euros, and so that's your living expenses. So think of your rent, your utility, food, transportation, phone bills, like everything that you have to like do monthly. So you try to live within the midst of 70% of your net salary. This is, if you are a single person, it is very easy to achieve this. I know it might be difficult for family, but then the thing with family as well is that you have spouses, and then so there's more income on the table, from your partner. But it's just a guide. And then the next 10%, which is meant for your personal development, your donation, giving back. For those who are Christian, think about it as like the 10% you give as your tithe. And then for some other persons, you kind of like just want to like give back. You use it for learning, further learnings, hobbies, entertainment. what have you. Then the other 10% should be like your short-term savings. So you can think about this as like an emergency fund. So basically, you can do the short-term savings for a particular purpose, either vacation, buying a car, replacing your laptop, or just saving down for something you would likely need in a short time or so. So like an emergency fund. Then you have this last 10% that is meant to be a long-term saving, and or you could use it for some kind of secure investment where you get interest for, or you use it for like a kind of fixed savings because you are not expected to touch this money like within 12 calendar months. It's meant to be something you save for like a really long time if the situation permits you. So you can save this in like an high interest account. And the good thing with our Finnish bank accounts, our personal Finnish bank accounts, is that you have the ability to the future to kind of create more accounts like from your normal account. So you could just create more accounts, have this short-term savings one, have this long-term savings one, and for the long-term savings one, you can pick those kind of account that actually gives you like higher interest. So yeah, that is that. Let me see if we have more things to say on budgeting. Okay, so yeah, that is that about the budgeting aspect. So we're moving on to the next part. I'm sorry, I know I'm speaking very fast. I didn't really know how much time we have, and I wanted to just cover as much as possible. And again, I didn't want to bore you with maybe something that is not really important, but with the questions, with the questions later on, we would know what people really need to hear more about. So on to understanding Kela benefit. So Kela is a central part of Finnish welfare system, and it's not just for unemployed. It supports students, family, parents, and those with health issues. Your eligibility is usually dependent on like your registration as a resident in Finland and your income level. The key rule is if you think you might be eligible for something, just always, call Kela up, ask them, apply. I mean, the worst that can happen is they will say no. And I know a lot of people have kind of like skeptical about Kela, but I think the best way to go about it, if you get to hear of some kind of like benefit, you're not sure if you're eligible or something, like you could just always visit their office. And I think it's even easier to like just call. Like most of the time they can do applications for you online by just calling. You give them your details, they ask you questions, and then right there the person attending to you could even do applications for you. Sometimes you get to discover through this call like what you're actually eligible for and you didn't know about. So and then some of the possible benefits you might be entitled to: health insurance. Like, I mean, for students, despite the fact Kela is always saying they don't have business with students, but I mean, for students, you can get to visit the hospital without paying a dime, but has to be like the student. They have like a student different kind of clinic, and you can go for your dental treatment. So during the time you're studying, don't wave this aside. Don't be afraid of like the cost. You should actually use your health insurance benefit. And then unemployment benefit, yeah, that is there. But like I also said when I was talking about the trade union, that if you're working and you become unemployed, if you were not part of a trade union, is Kela that will be giving you unemployment benefit, and this might be a lower amount. But if you were part of a trade union, you have the you would be eligible from getting from the trade union 70% of your last salary. So this will still make a lot of sense, to cover up until you're able to like get a job. Then child benefit, parental allowance, especially for expecting mothers, the fathers. Then housing allowance is also like one thing maybe most people do not know, despite the fact that you're working, you're not unemployed, but most of the time people are still eligible for housing allowance, because Kela you could just give them a call and ask about this. They will just look at some information about you in the system, get like an idea of what your current rent is and other expenses like feeding and everything in your household, and then they make a decision and give you something to support you with this. So it's something you should not just assume you're not eligible for. You should just pick up your phone and call Kela, and enjoy that benefit. So yes, then I think this should be like our final part for the evening. This is for entrepreneurs or those who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs. So if you're thinking of starting a business in Finland, the first step is, for you to have a plan. The biggest decision is choosing the kind of structure. If you want to register a HOI, that's like a limited liability company, and or if you want to register as a sole trader, that's the toy mini. And also, okay, one of the main difference is that a limited liability company is a separate legal entity from you, the owner. So it protects your personal asset if in case something goes wrong with the business. And then a trainer mini is basically it's kind of like recognized as you're one with your business. So every kind of like debt or anything that happens with the business is also like your personal debt, and also, but it's always easier to start as a sole trader. It's less, the registration process is less complicated. It's easy to understand and all. Then also, okay, I think at the end I have a slide that just provides like some links of where you could register your business and all. And then let me see. Okay, and also, as even if you are a sole trader, it is advisable that you have like a separate account for your business. So you don't have to like it could be a bit complicated or tedious to open like a business account at this stage. But what you can always do, like I said earlier, from your personal
they were introduced to me, okay. So she bought this ticket.
Please, if you are just joining, please note. Okay, continue.
All right. Okay, so like I said earlier, it is always possible for you to open a separate account from your normal account, just maybe from your mobile phone or your bank interface, and then you can just maybe name this account as your business name or a different name that will make you understand that, okay, this is for the business. And for some of the banks, I don't know if all of the banks, you can request for a card for that account. So it makes it easy for you, even as a training mini. Maybe you have a vehicle that you use for your business. You could buy your fuel, do all the business expenses using this card, do the business transactions, payment, and everything using this account, so that it's easier for your bookkeeper or your accountant, even yourself, to understand what is going on with your business without messing it all up, with your personal account. And then also as like a private trader, you can always send money from this business account to your private account. It is known as like the owner's withdrawal. So that's like your own, kind of like your own salary or your own gain for owning the business, that's not like a problem. All these things will be factored in as far as that record is available by your bookkeeper. So let me see. Okay, then going on to the obligations for entrepreneurs, like when you register, we have VAT, which is value added tax. Is usually not like a tax brought by you, the entrepreneur, but so you are just known. Think of yourself as like a tax collector on behalf of the government. The information here is wrong. It's supposed to be 20,000. Like this year, 2025 is now 20,000. So if you are thinking, oh, my business is going to make up to a turnover of up to 20,000 this year or something, you should register for VAT. Like it's compulsory register for VAT. Then it is kind of optional if you are not making that much. But there are advantages to actually registering for VAT, even if you are not going to be earning up to 20,000 euros. The reason is for your expenses that you pay VAT for. You can always claim this VAT payment back if you are from that money, if you are a registered VAT collector, compared to if you are not. But it's just that it now gives you this monthly or quarterly, as the case may be, or annually requirement, like responsibility of having to do that calculation and do tax filing and all that. Yeah, and then also the corporate income tax. This is paid by limited liability companies, but then for personal income tax is what is I mean, this is the part that this part is related to only private traders. And so basically how it's done is at the end of the year, when your annual report is prepared by your bookkeeper, then it is now known the profit that your business has made. And from this profit is taken as like your income for that year. So depending on with your tax card or that tax bracket, then that money is taxed. So but then if at the end of the year it has been calculated that you have not made up to 1,500 euros, then you probably do not have any tax to pay. Then you would not be getting like a tax back request. But one other part that I would like to stress with this aspect is that most entrepreneurs, most private traders think of VAT as like, oh, the tax that they are paying, but this tax is actually not really a tax that they are the one bearing the burden for. It's something they collected and they're just remitting it back to the government. But this personal income tax, so it is that aspect, as if your business is doing well and you are making a lot of money and you're already saying that, oh, you're going to definitely pass 15,000 euros, it is advisable, and maybe advisable earlier on in the year, to set up a prepayment plan so that you are already paying some amount of money to tax authority just on estimate. It is not real. Nobody knows what you're going to make at the end of the year. But so now at the end of the year, let's assume you're paying 200 euros, and at the end of the year you've paid 1,200. It's better when this calculation is done, when they now calculate your tax, instead of you getting a tax back request. If you have overpaid, you get like a refund, and if you have just paid correctly, then it's fine. So it's easier to pay 200 than at the end of the year you get 1,200 to pay at once, or they make it in 2 installments. So a tax prepayment is advisable for all sole traders. If you have a registered company here and you are not doing tax prepayment, it's something that you can still do. We still have like 3 months or 4 months instead of you getting tax back. Sometimes some people get some tax back requests of like 4,000, 3,000. That's because their business made like a lot of money. and their tax rate is high, then they start complaining and wondering where it came from, and this is the reason. So, and then, yeah, lastly, the pension insurance fund. It is mandatory for every entrepreneur if your business has made over 9,208 euros. So this is so, but then also it's good to know that even if your business has not made this, but you think, okay, your business is like you're doing well, it is something that is advisable that you do. One is because you are not an employee. Nobody is putting pension aside for you. You are responsible. So this is like a way of you putting your own pension aside for yourself. So think of it as a way of saving towards your future, towards your retirement. So it is something you should do, whether or not with this their main requirement, you should do. And then the good thing is also it's also tax deductible. So it's deductible like an expenses under your business. So why not do it? So if you do not have, if you are a business person here and you do not have pension, year insurance set up, it's something you should go to do. Right away. It's best for you. And I think the minimum for at least low income persons is about 144 thereabout monthly. So yeah, you're encouraged to do this. Then yeah, we are at the end. Let's look at the key takeaways. Okay, we have discussed taxes through your tax card for employees, and then the budget rule, then Kela, understanding your entitlements, with Kela, then for entrepreneurs, yes. And then I have like some links below and phone numbers as well. You can just maybe take a screenshot of it if you want to contact any of these organizational offices. So at this point, I would say, yeah, if you have questions, I hope maybe we already have questions that we can answer. And yeah, so that is it.
Thank you very much. Please, let's just drop an emoji to appreciate her for what she has done, for the effort and everything. Let's drop an emoji. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you for this wonderful session. And some questions are already dropped in the, I'll just read them out, and probably maybe you can respond to some of them. And if you have questions too, please just raise your hand. After we deal with the question in the chat box, we will sure definitely call you so that you can open your mic and then ask the question directly if you want to speak on the mic. But you can still type in your question in the chat box while I read the other ones that are there. The first one there says, for students, how do we make use of the health insurance? Do we have to call Kela or HO? Else? What? Okay, I believe you know what that means. Are you with me?
Yeah, are you communicating to me?
Yes. He's saying for students, how do we make use of the health insurance? Do we have to call Kela or not?
Okay, no, not, I don't think Kela, but I think yes, Kela will be able to direct you. There's actually like a student, should I say student hospital? I could look for the link and I would send the link of where you would register. There's also a number there. You can call them if you're having difficulty with actually booking appointments and stuff like that, and they help you to do this on phone.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if that answer your question. Please, you can just do a thumb up but if not, you can still further ask more questions in the chat box. The other one says from Mr. Oluwaseyi, I run multiple businesses such as Wolt, Udora, etc. Thank you for the thumb up. How can I reach you if I would like to use your taxation service? Thanks for your insights. I think she shared contacts, and I think you can still drop your contacts in the chat box so that whoever you can reach your place. Just drop your phone number so that you can just chat your WhatsApp to be preferable.
All right. Okay. Sorry. Let me go back to that first question on student health insurance. Yes, I didn't see the question. What the person said. HO. Yes, he or she is right. It's that organization. I think that's the short for what it is called. So.
Okay. Thank you. So please drop your contact information.
Can she come again, please?
Okay. You would
Yeah,
like to get,
I was trying to say, yeah, the HO, like I don't know what that full name is, but that's the organization that actually takes care of like the students' health when you actually want to visit the hospital. But I'll still look for the link and send. I'm just seeing the question in writing, so I understand like the HO short.
Okay, thank you for that. So the next one, how can freelancers, like I said, please, Ms. Busayo, please drop your phone number in the chat so that whoever wants to contact you can actually contact you in person.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So how can freelancers calculate their tax payments?
Oh yeah. For freelancers, it's best you use invoicing service. So basically when you do job for a client and then you want to get paid, you would use one of the invoicing service. We also have invoicing service as Finovate, there's Trust, and like the rest. And then so what happens is they ask you for your tax card, and on your tax card your tax rate is there. So it's based on this your tax rate on your tax card. They would prepare something like a pay slip for you, withhold your taxes to remit to the tax administration, and then you are paid like the rest of your income. So that is how the simple way to do it. You don't need any serious calculation. It's just like you're invoicing your client and then your taxes get removed from that.
Thank you very much for the response. I believe that actually answers your question. So please, if it doesn't, you can still further ask more in the chat box. Now, the next one says, are students meant to pay tax if they are working?
Yes, everybody should have a tax card. Like, so if you're working, your employer will definitely remove your taxes from that. But what happens is sometimes for most students, because you don't really work full time, or you kind of like just get a job in the middle of the year, you're not above 1,500 euros. So your tax rate would be automatically zero on your tax card. It's anything above 1,500, then there'll be a tax rate for it. So you probably would not be paying taxes until you reach the threshold of 1,500. So
thank you for that. I would just want to add, as student, even before you start working, you're expected to actually register at tax office so that they can give you your tax ID. Because without it, you can't actually work. No employer will employ you unless it is illegal kind of work. You must have a tax card, even though you specify that you will not make more than 15,000 in a year. It means they will be charging you 0% on tax every at least while you are still a student. So I just felt I should have that. So I don't know if Ms. Busayo wants to add something else. Something else.
No.
Okay. Thank you. So the next question, please, can you quickly break that budgeting down again, please? Can you?
Okay. All right. Okay.
Maybe you share your screen again.
Okay. Let me see.
And just to further add, he said, and the next question, I think, is still with that budgeting. And he said, if you get the budgeting right, is there any tax refund, or please explain little more? So I think it's still part of the budgeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. But I didn't get the second question.
Now, the first question says, can you please break the budgeting down again? And if you get the budgeting right, is there any tax refund that has to be made, or you should explain a little better?
All right. Okay. On the budgeting has nothing to do with taxes, actually. It's just, I just say it starts from like your net salary. That's the salary you actually get paid by your employer that comes into your bank account. That's your net salary after tax. So then the rule is just simple. It's 70, 10, 10. So you just take 70% of what your salary, your net salary is. We used an example of like someone that earns 1,500, for instance. And then, so it's basically, the rules basically just suggest that you, from the 70%, that should be your living expenses. That it should cover your rent, utility, food, and transportation, phone, everything. So it's like the necessities, and the goal is to manage your lifestyle so that your core needs fit into this 70%. It's just something to teach you this kind of like discipline or savings and savings, what would I say, attitude or something. And then the next 10%, you think of that as like, okay, something you give back. Maybe you want to like support people, you want to like, have some entertainment for yourself, some, do hobbies, like if, some kind of hobbies you like doing, monies you spend on that. If you're a Christian, and then you take tithing, very seriously, which you should, you can think of this as the 10% you pay for your tithe. And then the next 10% is your savings, like short-time savings. So you think of it like as an emergency fund, like something, you put aside every month 10% in case something happens that you all of a sudden need money for. You can save towards vacation. You can save towards like changing your car, your laptop, this kind of things that could just happen. So like a short-term savings. And then the last 10% is like your long-term savings. That's money that you can use for some kind of investment, some and then since your long-term savings is advisable that you put it in some sort of fixed interest account or something like that, just account that have a higher interest rate, or something like that. So it's just so basic, that's it. I don't know if it's clear now. And then it has nothing to do with taxes, so I don't understand the second question.
Okay, the second question, I think, is just about budgeting, right? If any tax refund, and please. Okay, wait, did I miss that question? Okay.
Yeah, like the question was like, if you get the budgeting right.
Yes. Is there
So
any tax refund?
no, it has nothing to do. It's like your personal thing. It has nothing to do with taxes. So
Okay, thank you. So I think what he's just trying to say there, maybe I can just help him rephrase it. If you get the budgeting right, and you know how much exactly you are to pay, maybe from if you are actually running a business, or maybe kind of let me say as a entrepreneur, kind of, and you get to know how much was coming in, like the VAT. Well, it's not actually under budgeting, like she said, so that we don't mix them up at all. So, but the budgeting here is actually on your expenses and your income, whatever your salary is. Then from there, you know how much you have to keep aside for living expenses, another 10% for other expenses or savings. The next question, please, so that we move. Now, the next question is interesting. It says, see the tax percentage calculated on the amount above. Okay, is the tax percentage calculated on the amount above 15,000? Like if I earn 18,000, that's 3,000 extra. Will the taxable amount be 3,000 since 15K is taxable?
Sorry, let me look at the question myself.
Now, we mentioned that 15,000 is
okay.
the, yes.
Yes, the taxable amount is 3,000, but because of how it is done in Finland, like how do I say? They have this way instead of the tax office just naturally waiting at the beginning of the year that okay, this person is earning 15,000 throughout this year, so it's zero tax. And then when you now cross 15,000, then they will now start taxing that excess. No, they don't. It's going to be very hard on you as a person. So what is done is when 18,000 is known, like or declared at the beginning of the year that okay, my estimate is this, you probably will get like a tax rate of about, it could be 5%, it could be 3.5%. They kind of like try to prorate it in the sense that instead of it, let's say the tax that was supposed to be taxed on 3,000 was like, let me use like a rough figure, 10%, which is 300. Instead of you paying that 300 towards the end of the year, like maybe when you're getting to like October or something, and them charging you the whole sum, that 300 we kind of like, they give you a tax rate that 300 is divided from that January to December. So it's now like you could be paying 30 euros when it's done. So there's like, that's what is behind the calculation we don't see, but that's the idea of it. But basically what it means is 3,000 that they're taxing you on, but it's just that it's spread in such a way. And then there's something else that it is advisable that you do. Sometimes, I mean, nobody really knows like the future. So at the beginning of the year, you can think I'll be earning 1,500, you're at zero tax, or you think it's 20,000 euros, and then you're at like 5% tax rate, what they give you on your tax card. But then you get to May, somehow maybe yes, you got a good job, you changed job, and then you're a student, then you graduated, and then you're working more, or you got like a higher income job, and then by May you're already seeing yourself that you've made 20,000. You can always go on your tax interface or call them, or we can also help you at Finovate. You log in, and then you make a real estimate, like you now give a new figure. It changes your tax rate, so you have a new tax card. Most of the time automatically it's sent to your employer, but it's advisable you download it and you give it to your employer so that they can start charging you at that rate. Because if you don't do that, when somehow maybe in their system they see that, oh, you've gotten to a certain amount, they just automatically they reduce, give you this tax, and it starts reducing what you have as your net salary. Or if that is not done, it's even worse. What will happen is at the end of the year, you now get this tax back, and it might be an heavy amount of money, and it's upsetting, to be honest. So it's better that you keep track of what you're earning and you change this amount, this estimate, even within the year, instead of like waiting for a tax back.
Thank you very much. I think I want to take a question from Mr. Victor that is raising now. Do you have the floor? You can open your mic. Mr. Victor. Mr. Okafo. You are raising your hand, or is it mistake? Okay, while you wait on that. So the next question, if you have a pension and insurance set up by your employer, is it advisable to set up another pension saving for your private business as an entrepreneur?
Okay, if you have what?
If you have a pension and insurance set up by your employer, is it advisable to set up another pension saving for your private business as an entrepreneur?
Yes, I would say yes, it is. Like that's what I would do personally. Like the thing is, depending on even the kind of employment you have, I mean, your pension contribution that your employer does and the one they take from you, it won't be a lot if it's not like a very well paid job. Even if it's a well paid job. So just imagine you're earning maybe 4,000, 5,000, like a very well paid job. they're setting aside good pension for you, and then you turn 60 or you retire, and then what's your pension? You have contributed like a good amount that now is giving you monthly 2,000. But if you had the ability, even with that well-paid job, you were like an entrepreneur and you had pension that you were setting aside. At the end, when you're 60, instead of you maybe getting 2,000 or whatever based on your pension that you have contributed, you'll be getting much more. I mean, the more savings for the future, the better. So it is advisable you do that. And then the thing is, if your business, your private business is doing well, even if you don't do it, but if you're already earning above 9,200 annually, it is compulsory that you do it. They get to give people fine when they don't do this. But even if you're not passing that threshold, I would advise that you do it.
Thank you very much for that response. The next one says,
Hello.
Okay, Mr. Okafo, you have the floor. You can
Yes.
speak.
Okay. So concerning my question earlier about the tax, I want to just give a practical example because sincerely, I did not really understand it from the angle I asked the question. So let's say now the tax-free income is 15,000, and maybe we are in January now, and I say, okay, I'm going to earn 18,000. I noticed that if I put 18,000 as my tax for January, I'm being charged at 3%.
Yeah.
Already from January, I'm charged 3% on the 18,000.
Yeah.
You understand? So if we are saying that the tax is just for the excesses above the 18,000, which is 3,000, my tax should be 3% of 3,000, which is about 90 euro.
Yeah.
But if I go with that January, at the end of the year, I would have been charged 540 euro for the full 18,000 income. So that is sometimes confusing because maybe when you're earning higher and the higher you go, like maybe for 30,000 is like 16.5%. So I was thinking that if you're earning 30,000, your tax should be charged only on the excesses above the 15,000, which is 15,000 euros. But it's very confusing to me. And
yes, yes, it's exactly what I was trying to explain. The thing is, practically what you're being taxed on for the case of that 18,000 is the 3,000. But they don't do it in such a way that they will just give you a tax rate. The tax rate on 3,000, like on the SS 3,000, is normally not 3.5. It's not 3.5. But because they are factoring it into the whole 18,000 for the year, that's why I said they start at the beginning of the year, they just give you a prorated rate. That is why you have 3.5. On a norm, like, so it's yeah, I understand you if you want to understand the behind of it, it can be confusing even for finance persons, because you would have to, like, okay, understand, get the rate of the tax rate for each threshold. Then you now do the calculation for above 1,500, above 20, above that, you get those figures. Then you now go to factor it into the whole amount for the whole year. So it's a lot of finance you're talking about. But what they do is, instead of them just waiting until the tax is 000, and then all of a sudden they now give you like a tax rate of like either 5 or 10% on that 3,000, they kind of like just factor it in for the whole year. That's why you start to pay 3.5 from the beginning of the year. So I understand why you think it's confusing, but that's what they do. Your tax rate on the 3,000 wouldn't have been 3.5. It would have been above 3.5.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I hope that answered your question already.
Sorry, Mr. Okaf, I could try to get like more examples like with numbers and maybe reach out to you to explain this further, because I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it's something you should bother your head about. It should just for you to understand the logic of what they are doing. But if you want to understand like the numbers behind it, it's something else.
I think from that 3,000, naturally it should have been like maybe 20% of the 3,000. And if you
Exactly.
calculate 20% of 3,000, that's still about 500 and something. Instead of basing it on that 3,000, they now decided to, look at your overall salary, what you are getting for the whole year, and just reduce the percentage so that it looks as if you are being taxed little. Meanwhile, they are factoring the 15,000 that is not taxable in the whole of the 30%. I just felt maybe that's what they do. Mr.
Yes.
Okafor, did you get that? Did you get that, Mr. Okafor?
It's muted.
Okay. It's okay. So let's move to the next question. If you have a pension, okay, we have dealt with that. Is there a way to open a fund interest bank in Finland? How can one invest also like the 10% rule? Okay. Before you actually respond to that, okay, respond to it first, then I'll probably say something later. Thank you.
Well, okay, I know with some of the banks, like maybe Nordea also, which you could also chat them from your mobile app. They have like different kind of accounts. The explanations are like there. So there's something close to like a fixed account or something like that, where you for a certain time period you are not you don't get to like touch this money except you are maybe liquidating it, which you might lose the interest on it. So then the interest on that kind of savings will be more. But then regarding investment fund, it's something like, because it can be very risky as well. So I'm not really very I wouldn't say okay, I know for sure this investment fund you can invest in, but I know there are different things here and there. But a safe way, if you have the personal discipline, is just to like and you don't want to take any risks, it's just to like just save your money in your account in a fixed interest rate yourself. That's like a safe, risk-free one. But then, yeah.
All right, thank you. I would just like to add, I think recently in the Yoruba platform, we are trying to see how we can actually bring finances together to invest in real estate or any other investment that could actually help, make the best use of our fund instead of just keeping it there. But more information on that will still be passed across, and will let us know, because we had our first meeting, I think, around 2 weeks ago or something, and another meeting will be coming very soon. So let's keep in mind. Just felt I should ship that in. And I would just like to add that if you're a Yoruba person living in Finland and you're on this chat, I dropped the group link in the chat already. You can just click that so that you can join the group. More information usually fly in the community. It's good that you're part of the community and be able to get first-hand information. And if you check in the chat, she dropped a WhatsApp link there already. You can always get in touch with her anytime, any day. She's someone that will give you everything you need, all the explanation that you need. I am telling you this from experience, because she was the one that actually put me through my tax and all, she was able to break everything down for me to understand some things, even though something are still like a blink. I'm sure if I call her tomorrow now, she's always there, and she's always there to respond. Some of our services are not free too, so don't just put that at the back of your mind. But mostly at the beginning like this, she's always open-minded, and she'll offer a free service to you. Let me just put it that way. Is there any other question? No question for now. All right, while we are about to round up, I would just like to ask generally, for those of us that are here, I'm sure we have all experienced Finland in different ways, especially when it comes to taxes. I want to know if you have had any interesting or challenging experience with tax or finance in Finland, and you feel like you should share it. Maybe somebody here can actually learn from it. One experience, and that you actually experience here in Finland, that you ask yourself then, had I known, if I have known or gotten this information, maybe it will have been better. You want to say something? You can unmute, Mr. Okafo. Are you raising your hand or your hand is still down? Okay, I think Mr. Okafo. Okay, thank you for bringing down the hand. Okay.
Already, it's just maybe he forgot to put the
Okay,
hand.
Brick Nation, you have something to tell us? Thank you. We can unmute now. Brick Nation. Brick Nation, you are raising your hand. Brick Nation. Okay, now the hand is down. Well, I actually heard of a story of a guy that came to Finland and was just going about doing his thing. He doesn't really know much about all this taxation and the like, was just doing his thing and all. But they won't tell you. You have to seek for information when you don't know, especially when you are just new. For better integration, you don't just say you don't know, because you don't know, they would summon you with a fine and you have to pay, either you like it or not. So just like she has explained, please, let's try as much as we can. If we have a question that we want to ask concerning tax, you can always, call her and, let her know. Send that message on WhatsApp. You can call her on WhatsApp too. I'm sure if she's not chanced immediately, she can always, create a time, at a free time of hers, and she will give you all the necessary information. Brick Nation.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay. Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, I thank you for all the information. I chopped in late, but I was able to learn one or two things. I want to share my own personal experience, like moving to Finland, like 2 years ago. I applied for unemployment. No, not unemployment. Sorry. What do you call it? Funding from Kela, a arm of government that supports young entrepreneurs and business owners with certain amounts of grants. And I had a lot of challenges accessing the funds because there was no instructions, particularly from what to do. And that was a very big, it took me almost 2 months to really know what to do because there was no information and there was not an office that you can walk in. Because Finland is like that, because sometimes there are some offices, some information that you cannot even walk in to go and ask questions from anybody. Nobody knows. If you call one office, they will tell me, no, you're not the ones handling it. And the office is maybe far away from where you can reach. So I was able to navigate my way after a lot of mistakes I did because the funding, I don't know whether, am I supposed to apply for the funding monthly or is it supposed to be for the whole entire 6 period? So there was a lot of mistakes like that. But at the end of the day, I was able to navigate the way of how to apply to get such funding for the period. So what I'm just saying is that it's good to have information out there, and this information is very important for anybody willing to start and not to get in trouble with taxes. So it's a good one. Thank you.
Thank you for that piece of information. We really appreciate it. So I don't know, do you have any other information? Okay, Ms. Busayo, want to say something?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, firstly, to add on what he just said. So he's basically talking about this grant for entrepreneurs. So there's this, concept that, you want to start a business, and they understand starting a business, some kind of business, it can be, you won't start having cash flow from the beginning. You need to plan, do something. So there is a fund for that, and it starts with you having a business plan, and then there's this financial. I think I could also look for the link for their template and share here. But then they also do not require that at that moment, maybe you need to speak with a business advisor. So depending on where you stay, if it's Helsinki, business Helsinki, if it's Espoo, business Espoo, there's somebody they will attach you with that will be your advisor. And then if it's Vanta, I know they have what is called and all around Finland. So, but then you should be careful. There are some things you shouldn't do. Like, don't already, go maybe getting a website. Don't, don't overdo the preparation. Just do the preparation, have things written down, have your plan. Then when you apply, when they see you haven't really started, I don't think registration is part of what disqualified you. That's registering the business, but you can always check with this advisor. Then they would approve this grant and help you get started. This grant basically is like grant for your own personal like income. They are giving you that certain amount for like your own salary while you're trying to navigate this business for the period of that time. So I will share the link to where there's some information on this also in the chat. That is one. Then the second one I want to share is just from somebody's experience, and it's just to encourage us to, like, when you're in Finland, try to you're here now, so try to to just see yourself as part of like the system. So what I'm trying to say is that, for instance, we have people that they have the papers to work, but then they are like doing one black job here and there or the other. Yeah, so they, as much as this, your money is not taxed, and it looks like, oh, you're having like a free day or enjoying yourself or living the life. What happens is you do not have any record that, oh, you're earning money, you're paying taxes, you're not in the income register. And if maybe that thing you would have even done as a business, like just register a business and let this person you're working for issue them invoice to pay you, even if they can't do payroll, because I understand a lot of employers, maybe sometimes they run from payroll because they're still small and it's a lot of work or a lot of financial commitment as well for them. But register a business, issue them invoice to get paid. The reason is I have seen someone that just contacted me. Luckily, I think some 3-4 years ago, this person was running a cleaning company. Yes, he had like his accounting and everything, but now fast forward, he's not running the company. He has stopped running the company for like 3 years. Maybe he started working. He stopped being an entrepreneur, and then he's qualified for a Finnish passport. And then the immigration started asking him for his a certificate, like an accountant certificate, and talking about his personal withdrawal from his business for 3 past years that he has left behind since how many years ago. Then he contacted me, like, okay, like it's a situation that I'm not familiar with. Oh, they do this. I was wondering, I could just, but I knew that, okay, from his tax system, I can see this record. I went through his tax system, I saw all the record, and I was able to write him this letter and wrote the letter. I was still kind of like doubting it. When I sent it to him, I was like, okay, if this is what you're saying, this is what it is. The next day, this guy called and said, oh, they've approved his application. It's not a Finnish citizen with his family, just for having record of doing something legally and being in the system for years back. Like, and I don't know what would have happened if he didn't have it. I want to believe they will not just deny him like that, but somehow this was like a thing. So it's just to encourage us that when you have what it takes, you have the papers and everything. You don't need to do things underground. You should kind of like, whatever work you're doing, just be in the system, be in the record, because this record could kind of like speak for you in the further future.
Thank you very much. Just like she said, not being taxed can look so sweet, can be so wonderful. You get the cash, you spend it, and no tax is coming on it. But they are waiting for you when you want to renew, because they will need to check your record and be sure that, yes, you have actually been a good citizen. So let's try as much as we can to pay what is due to the government, because we are here. and we need to try as much as we can for better integration. It's good to be as clean as possible. So when you work, make sure your tax is being paid, make sure you are paying what is due to the government, and you cannot evade the what's it called, VAT, because like someone was asking that if you own a business as an entrepreneur and you invade tax and pension savings, you will be fined for tax default. Of course, you'll be fined, and when they notice that you are intentionally invading it, you will be taxed heavily. You'll be fined heavily. That you might even blame yourself that, well, I know I should have actually paid the right tax the way I should pay it. So on that note, I don't think there's any other question there, and unless somebody decide to raise hand now, but in the absence of any other hand being raised, we just want to appreciate you, Mrs. Busayo Apanishile. We appreciate you for this wonderful session, this period that you have decided to spend with us. We would definitely, we have this session recorded, and in due time we'll post the link so that in case you want to go back and listen to it, we'll surely have access to the video and be able to listen to it. And like I said, if you have any question, you can always contact us. Just check the chat, our contact is there. And if you need to contact me for our contact, maybe you lose it, you can always do so. Or you can ask in the group too. You know, we always find someone somewhere to actually send the information to you. We really appreciate you for coming on board. And we just like to let you know that many other, presentation, or let me say seminar like this will be coming up, in terms of job searching, creating CVs, or anything that could actually help us here in Finland for better integration. We are surely going to spring them up, and you will surely know in due time. So when they come up like that, let's try as much as they can to be part of it, because information is key. When you have information, you have almost everything, because that information might not work for you right away, but in the nearest future, such information might mean gold, more than you can imagine. So let's just try as much as we can to load ourselves with as much as possible, so that your preparation, your preparedness will meet that opportunity when the opportunity comes. So don't let opportunity hit you before you now start preparing or start trying to scale up or balance up with that opportunity. No, prepare yourself ahead of time, so that when the opportunity jam you, you'll be able to take it with your full chest. And nobody is an island, like we always say. When you have information that you feel will help the community, and if you know you have something in you that you can actually give to the community, maybe like a lecture like this, let us know. You can even contact me personally, and we'll see what we can do around it. So please just get in touch with me, and I will definitely find a way and see what we can do, so that people can learn from you. We are all here to help each other, and whatever, no matter how small it may be, no matter how small that information might look, it can go a long way in the life of others. And whatever you say, maybe it might be just two people that actually need that information. Those two people are safe for life. So we appreciate you for joining up. For all of us that join, your time is so precious to you. You could have actually used this time for something else, but yet you should still be part of this presentation. We appreciate it. If you have opened up and it's just me and Mrs. Busayo that is here, we are not going to kill you, but yet you decide to, take out of your time, you decide to join this meeting. We appreciate you, and we hope that our next or other meeting like this, you'll be able to join. And we pray that coming to Finland, our being in Finland will not be in vain, by God's grace. We will all, reap the benefits of this land, and we will not go back home empty-handed. That is if we want to go back home, because some of us will say, but we are hopeful that our coming here, our being here, will favor us and will favor every one of us and our family. Thank you very much. It's nice having you here. Have a wonderful weekend and a blessed new week ahead. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.